Hello friends, how are you? Today we are going to finish chapter cell. This is the last part of chapter cell. Today we are discussing about two last cell organelles, that is mitochondria and the ribosome. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Many a time this question comes as a one mark question. Name the cell organelle that is known as the powerhouse of the cell. So this cell organelle was discovered by the Kolliker. These discovered names can come in the competitive exams but not in the school exams. For the competition also I am providing you additional information. This structure is usually absent in the prokaryotic cell but present in all type of eukaryotic cell. Maximum mitochondria are present in the metabolically active cells because it is a powerhouse, and who requires the power? Those who are metabolic active, these cells only. So this mitochondria is present in the metabolically active cell. Mitochondria is again a double membrane structure. Double membrane structure as well as semi-autonomous body. Semi-autonomous body, right? This mitochondria consists its own DNA and proteins. It is not borrowing anything from the nucleus, but it is having its own material. The structure is too very important. This is the outer layer. I told you it is double membrane. This is the outer layer. Inner membrane is just folded inside. Why it is folded inside? To increase the surface area, because it has to provide energy to the cell. So to increase the surface area, the inner membrane is present in a folded form, and this inner membrane in a folded form is known as cristae. This inner folding is known as cristae. Sorry, this is inner folding, right? This is the inner membrane. The space between this outer and inner membrane is known as perimitochondrial space, right? This folding consists small structure that is known as perisomes, or they are also known as F0 and F1 particles, because they are responsible for the formation of energy currency of your cell. Yes, our body is having energy currency, and what is the name of this energy currency? ATP. ATP is the energy currency of the cell. Now the next question, what is the full form of ATP? Its full form is adenosine triphosphate. This adenosine triphosphate just reduce and convert into the energy, provides us energy. Adenosine triphosphate. This F1 F0 particle, that is the another name of oxysomes. Its another name is oxysomes. Convert the particles into adenosine triphosphate. It just combine three adenosine molecules, combine three nucleotide. Adenosine, you know nucleotides are for adenine, guanine, cytokinin and uracil. So out of these four, adenine 3 adenine and 1 phosphate molecule combine together, sorry, 1 adenine and 3 phosphate molecule combine together and convert into a energy molecule. And whenever we require energy, this energy molecule, this ATP just reduce its 1 phosphate molecule and convert into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. That's why it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. It is known as powerhouse of the cell. Yes. The next topic that we are going to discuss is the ribosome. Ribosome itself are important, but it is not bounded in any membrane. Ribosome is not bounded in any membrane. Ribosome is also known as a protein factory. If you want to note it down, just note it down. Ribosome. Ribosome is the only responsible for the production of proteins. Firstly, it was reported by the Claude and the G. Pallet. Firstly, report about the ribosome. That ribosomes are also something that is the smallest cell organelle of the cell, and they are helping in the synthesis of protein. They are helping in the synthesis of proteins. RNA is of 3 type. RNA is of 3 type. That is mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. This rRNA is responsible for the production of ribosomes, and these ribosomes is responsible for the production of proteins. A covering membrane is absent. There is no covering membrane, but there are 2 unequal subunits. One is a small, another one is big. So that is small. Its definition depends upon the sedimentation coefficient. This sedimentation coefficient is decided by sedimentation coefficient जो है डिसाइड किया जाता है with the help of centrifuge. Centrifuge एक मशीन होती है लैब में जिससे कि इसका सेडिमेंटेशन कोफिशिएंट डिसाइड किया जाता है कि सेडिमेंटेशन कोफिशिएंट कितना है, और उसी के बेसिस पे डिसाइड किया जाता है कि ये आपका राइबोसोम प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स का है या यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स का है. जो प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स का दिस राइबोसोम होता है, इसका ऊपर वाले का सेडिमेंटेशन कोफिशिएंट होता है 30s और नीचे वाले का होता है 50s, and totally this is 70s. Although I know कि इनका एडिशन 80s होता है, बट इसका सेडिमेंटेशन कोफिशिएंट 70s होता है. और ये किस तरह की सेल्स में मिलता है? ये मिलता है प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स में. कहाँ मिलता है ये? प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स में. और जो दूसरी तरह का राइबोसोम होता है जिसमें ऊपर का यूनिट होता है 40s का, नीचे का 60s का, एंड टोटली इट इज ऑफ 80s. और ये आपको कहाँ मिलेगा? आपकी यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स में. राइट? These are all just brief information about the ribosome, and this much is required only in your syllabus. This much is only required in your 9th class syllabus. If you are having any queries, any doubts, just leave a comment. Please like, share and subscribe my video. If you are having any issue, just make a comment. Thank you.